My name is Professor Daniel Sokol of USC's Gould School of Law and Marshall School of Business. In this Tommy Talk, I'm going to discuss my paper, How Incumbents Respond to Competition from Innovative Disruptors in the Sharing Economy, the impact of Airbnb on hotel performance. While that is quite a mouthful, in fact, you probably have a good sense of why business managers should care about this topic. Basically, what it is that we show is that incumbent hotels can use a number of different strategies to respond to Airbnb's entry. We use a unique data set from before and after Airbnb's entry into Taiwan, and we find that hotels respond differently across the value chain. Low-quality hotels compete on price with Airbnb after Airbnb's entry. In contrast, prices and the investment in service quality increase for high-quality hotels. The increase of investment in service quality allows high-quality hotels to reposition themselves in the higher end of the lodging market. Now, this paper has broader implications for marketing and other managers, and that is as follows. So many different industries are being disrupted from online entrants. And the broader question of how can an incumbent respond and compete effectively with such entry is, I think, of paramount importance as more and more of the economy has become digitized and for which there are new entrants across all parts of the economy. What is it that we do in our paper that is different? Well, we explore both price and quality responses in our setting as a product differentiation strategy. We use various quality measurements that are relatively easily changed, spending on personnel for food and beverages, and changes in terms of how much you spend on concierge service, rather than quality measurements that are, say, slow to change, such as a hotel renovation or building new facilities, like an annex such as brand new banquet facility or a swimming pool. And we demonstrate the impact of Airbnb on hotel incumbents, and that this impact is differentiated and depends on hotel quality. Much of the prior work focuses on price rather than non-price responses of incumbents to entrants. We also provide a strategic interaction between the price and non-price responses. Specifically, we focus on the choice of both price and non-price responses as ex post responses of the incumbent to the entry of an online platform. Our finding that price and quality both increase for high quality hotels is new to the online platform literature, specifically to the entry of an online platform against traditional incumbents. We find that Airbnb lowers the price for lower quality incumbents, but we also show that entry by Airbnb may result in an increase in price for some incumbent hotels, but for these hotels, quality also goes up. The reason why we might see a quality response is because when facing competition from an entrant, incumbent firms may reposition themselves via quality adjustments. For example, incumbent airlines may respond to entry instead of just focusing on price. Instead, they might focus on on-time performance, or they might upgrade from pretzel and peanuts to healthier or tastier snacks. Our study also examines incumbents' non-price responses and measures both short-term and long-term repositioning effects on price and quality-based responses, as well as the interaction of these responses. Our data set collected changes in service quality from all hotels in Taiwan with data registered with the Taiwanese government. These quality measurements differ from the kind of work that examines third-party rating websites, such as TripAdvisor, because of potential selection bias on those websites as to who leaves ratings. We also specifically focus on hotel demand and response strategies among low quality and high quality hotels. We find a negative impact on hotel demand after Airbnb's entry, regardless of hotel quality. Low quality hotels compete on price with Airbnb, and such so hotels suffer revenue losses. In contrast, prices and investment in service quality increase for high quality hotels. High quality hotels also delay their response relative to low quality hotels. As a reminder, Airbnb is a technology platform company that connects people who have space to share, that is our hosts, and those seeking a place to stay, that is our guests. Hosts post information about their room or full lodging, attributes, and prices. Guests search for lodging information on the Airbnb website or on the app for free. Individual hosts determine Airbnb listing prices, and Airbnb charges both guests and hosts a service fee. According to our data, the earliest date hosts in Taiwan posted their listings on Airbnb was in 2013. We have data that goes as far as September 2017. So what is it that we look at? Well, not only is it that Airbnb listing data that we were able to scrape from the web, we also study the business performance record documented in the Operation Report of Tourist Hotels of Taiwan, which is published by the government, which is a monthly data set. Since all tourist hotels in Taiwan are required to submit detailed information on their business operations, this data set provides accurate information on all Taiwanese tourist hotels' business performance and characteristics. And we use data from 2010 to 2017, which gives us over 10,000 month hotel-specific observations, including 128 hotels in 23 months. And we are able to look at issues such as occupancy, price, revenue, Airbnb listings, number of rooms, number of employees in the room department, the number of employees in the food department, the number of employees in the management department, any other number of employees, the number of guests per month, the number of guests that actually originate from Taiwan, the number of guests that originate from China, the proportion of guests from other Asian countries, the proportion of guests from the United States and EU, and anywhere else in the world that people will visit from Taiwan. And we also look at the proportion of guests through group bookings and the number of hotels. And with all of that, we have the results that we shared earlier in terms of the hotel's non-price responses to the entry of Airbnb. So there are a number of things that we have to note in concluding. There are a few prior studies that investigate P2P platforms in the hotel and lodging industry. To the best of our knowledge, we are the first to examine the price and non-price responses of incumbent hotels to Airbnb's entry using tourist hotel data in Taiwan and provide a comprehensive analysis of the impacts of Airbnb on incumbent hotels. What we find is that online entry by Airbnb requires a different set of responses regarding price and quality against different market segments within a differentiated lodging industry. And the impact of Airbnb on hotels differs by service quality and other hotel attributes. We find that low quality hotels compete with Airbnb on price, while high quality hotels reposition themselves by increasing product differentiation. Our findings suggest that our higher quality hotels, you might think of them as premium hotels, may try to attract high-end customers by providing better service quality and charging higher prices. However, low quality hotels react differently. They have to have a price-cutting strategy as a response to Airbnb. And it turns out it's not the most successful strategy. Why? Because it results in revenue loss among such hotels. We also find that low and high quality hotels use different strategies. Low quality hotels respond with lower prices faster than do high quality hotels. And this result may reflect the fact that low quality hotels have less investment in their own businesses. High quality hotels respond more slowly to the entry of Airbnb, which may indicate that high quality hotels have more investment in their own businesses to connect with loyal customers. And these slower responses also may be due to their differentiation from Airbnb. High quality hotels upgrade services first to attract and or retain high-end customers. They then increase room rates after creating a successful market segmentation with customers with high demand for quality. So in our analysis, low-quality hotels responded to Airbnb when the cumulative number of Airbnb listings reached approximately 10% in the 3 years post-Airbnb entry. The responses became more rapid when there was more Airbnb in supply. One possible explanation for this 3-year response period may be the nature of network effects of Airbnb, which is to say that it takes time for Airbnb to attract enough users on both sides of the platform. So where does this leave us? Well, how Airbnb can affect hotel service quality can be addressed if we can see, for example, how service quality can change over time as certain new amenities become available. But overall, we find that there is a way to compete against online entrants. One emerging issue in the tourist and lodging industry is the rise of online room share and the related business models. Of importance is Airbnb, the most successful of these room sharing platforms, which allow people to rent out their residences for short-term purposes. This has disrupted the hotel industry. As of now, Airbnb has a higher valuation than both Hilton and Hyatt chains combined. And indeed, Airbnb has been able to scale up to have as many rooms as, say, Hyatt or Hilton and Marriott in a few years, in what took those chains literally 100 years to do. The reason why this matters is because in so many different areas, disruptive innovators impact incumbents in traditional markets. So our papers about Airbnb, but the same kind of dynamic occurs in other areas. For example, Uber or Lyft's effects on the taxi industry. But certainly it's not limited to just that. We can think of just about every single industry that is under attack by digital newcomers. So our article is a little bit different because we focus on the entry response and the response that incumbents in particular have to this entry. So it turns out, what do we care about? There's a set of interdependent contemporary decisions across time where product differentiation that really, really matters. So incumbents have to determine not just how, but when to respond. And there are somewhat different dynamics when we're dealing with an online platform setting. Within this emerging academic literature, our work builds on those works that address online versus offline competition and the loss of incumbent advantage due to disruption in technology. And such an emphasis is important because the basic strategic questions that a study like ours can answer. How do offline incumbents actually respond to the new online platform? Do they use a price-cutting strategy, a quality-adjusted strategy, or both? And do all of the offline incumbents adopt the same response strategy? Finally, how important is timing to all of this?